Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. Today's video is going to be all about getting back on track. Alright, so with everything going on in the world right now especially, but also just life in general, there are times that every single person who has ever been on a weight loss journey has gone off track. And so Dee from Override Dish with Dee, she actually came up with some questions related to getting back on track. So this is actually a tagged video. And so with that, I'm going to put a link to her channel in the description box. And I'm also tagging 3 people. I'm going to be tagging Trials of a Long-Haired Girl, aka Tracy. She tags everybody like every single week and comes up with some get to know me type tags. So I'm going to tag her because I feel like I haven't tagged her in a very, very long time. And I kind of feel guilty about that. She's a great person. She's super sweet. Go check her out. I'm tagging No Excuses because I tag her a lot and I kind of feel like she's underrated. Like, guys, go watch her. Go subscribe. She is such a smart, sweet woman. And I know a lot of her stuff is more activity related, but that is still some great progress. And she is doing WW. Go check her out. And then also Active Rachel Ann. She is an awesome person as well. I do believe she is an ambassador for iTrackBites, or at least a coach. Maybe not a coach because she's not in the coach chat. Either way, she's a big deal in iTrackBites. She's very smart. She's very active. She gives great advice and a lot of other stuff. So again, check her out as well. I'll link all of them down below, as well as a list of the questions, so that if you are a different YouTube channel, because some of these are YouTube channel creators specific. If you are one, let me know if you want to do the video. Consider yourself tagged, and I will link you in another video, because this is some advice that we all can use sometimes. Okay, so the first question is, why are you still on plan? This is assuming that I am, which is great. So I can answer it. I am still on plan because I want to succeed. When I started this journey, I did say I want this to be the last time that I lose weight. This is the last time I'm going to focus on my health and get in the shape that I need to be in, that I want to be in. So I hold on to my whys. I talk about them all the time. I know you guys have heard about them a lot, but your whys, if they are powerful enough, they will keep you going. Even if you do fall off track, you can get back on by holding on to those whys. So for me, it is, I have major back issues. Luckily, nothing that is requiring surgery at this point, but granted, I don't have a insurance or a doctor, so, but I do know, like when I was younger, they thought by the time I was 30, I was gonna be in a wheelchair. And luckily, I had lost weight before. And so the back spasms, after I lost weight, the back spasms stopped. I was able to work like normal. I was able to do everything like normal. And then unfortunately, I gained all of the way back, plus some extra, and the back pain and the back issue started happening again. So that is a huge motivator for me, as well as I have a huge list. Another big one is, if you guys have seen my channel, you know that I have lost my mom. She passed away 10 years ago, and I'm a firm believer that she would still be here if she had lost weight. Without going into details, every complication, every surgery they couldn't do, every major problem was ultimately a result of her obesity. I mean, that started the health issues and just made them more worse and more complicated. So I don't want to die young. She passed away at 55 years old. That's too young. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want to be that person. And then I have some other things too. Like I notice, like when I record videos, it's getting better, but sometimes if there is a lag, like say I'm doing a cooking video, or if I'm just recording friends while we're at a party or whatever, there's some heavy breathing going on. That's because my lungs are trying to breathe through. When I started, 376 pounds. Going up and downstairs was very hard. Luckily, the progress I have made is really already helping a ton with that. So that's amazing. And then other things, I want to be pretty. I mean, I mentioned it when I first started, but I'm more confident enough now to say it's okay to be a little bit vain. I am 35 years old. It's okay for me to say I want to look good. I want to look sexy. I don't have a problem with that. I think that is totally legitimate. So whatever your reasons are, for me, those are my basic ones. I have several others thrown onto the list, but though holding on to those whys, those are all big motivators for me for why I am still on plan. I just want to throw in right here that it has already been 5 minutes and I just answered the first question. So I don't know how Dee got all of these done in 10 minutes. I have a feeling this is going to be like when I did when I created the tag and she did a half-hour one. All right, so number 2, is this quarantine affecting your journey? Yeah, it's affecting it a ton. I mean, my entire world flipped upside down when this all started. I went from working 5 days a week, and as far as activity level goes, I do hair. So I'm on my feet, and I would get at least 10,000 steps a day in at work, and then come home, be able to do any other activity. And also while I'm working, if it's 6-hour shift, we don't take lunch breaks. We just work the entire shift. So food was separated a lot more, and it was easier not to be in the kitchen and all of that jazz. So when this started, it affected me a lot because it's hard to get active when you are just home all day. And it's hard to stay out of the kitchen. But luckily for me, I was able to, after my initial shock and awe about it, I was able to develop a routine. And that has helped me a lot. That goes into the next question, or the question 4. So I'm not gonna go into details of that. But yeah, it affected my journey hardcore. And my dogs too, because they are loving me being home. Okay, so number 3, do you stress eat? And if so, how do you control it? Yes and no, because luckily I have learned to combat it. Okay, Goldie, go lay down. Go lay down. Sorry, go lay down. Go. Sorry, she really wants attention and she's gonna start jumping on me. I'm not mean to her, I promise. But so, stress eating. Luckily I have learned how to control it a little bit. But yeah, it's a major thing. I have to be in hardcore depression mode and hardcore anxiety mode for me not to want to eat. The only time that has ever happened was when my mom passed away. After that, I was too upset to eat for quite a while. But anything that's not at that level, losing your mother level, yeah, I want to eat. My gut reaction is, let me make a pot of pasta and eat the whole thing. Or I'm gonna order an extra large pizza and some toasted ravioli and some cheese balls, mozzarella cheese balls. No, not even mozzarella, it's Provel, because it's usually Imo's. You guys probably don't even know much about Provel cheese, Provolone? Whichever one is more of a St. Louis thing, that's what yeah. But either way, that is my gut reaction, is to reach for food. That is the coping mechanism that for most of my life I learned to use. And ultimately I realized that it is not a coping mechanism, it is a distraction. It's distracting me from what the real issue is, and therefore I'm not addressing it because I know how to be upset about being fat. I've been fat all my life, except for like when I was 5 and younger and those couple of years when I lost weight. Other than that, I've been fat. So I know how to deal with being upset about being fat. It's addressing the other issues. So with stress eating, that is typically, a huge part of this journey is a mental game. And so for me, if I can address those issues, that helps me a lot. And then sometimes if it's something that you can't address, so like say we're in quarantine, you can't fix it. That's when you just start changing your way of thinking, start looking for positives where you can. That's why I do those good morning videos and little daily inspiration videos on Instagram, and then I post them in all the different Weight Watchers groups on Facebook. You've got to work on that. And then also just occupy yourself. A lot of times, stress combined with boredom can equal bad decisions. So if you can tweak that and give yourself an activity, give yourself something to do, that can really help. But ultimately, addressing what is causing the stress is the huge thing, and you can't obsess about it. Like it's a whole topic, and I'm not a licensed therapist, but I know sometimes I can just stress, and like obsess over what it is, what I can do about it. But eventually, you do have to just be like, okay, taking a break from this stressor and distracting myself. So for me, it'll be video games. You could be reading a book. You could be doing puzzles, whatever, anything. Especially my big tip is anything that involves your eyes and hands will be a great distraction, because if you're putting a puzzle together, if you're playing a video game, you can't be shoving food in your mouth also. So that. But ultimately, you gotta face the stress. And ultimately, that's one thing that is a side cool benefit of this whole weight loss journey is mentally, I'm getting a lot better because I am facing a lot of issues. Yeah. All right, so next one. What advice can you give someone who is off plan during this time? So again, I think I did a whole video on it, but a big one is developing a schedule. Again, remember your why. Why do you want to do this? Do you want to be gaining weight during all this? Do you want to be clogging your arteries? Do you want to be getting apathy in your muscles? I don't. So holding on to that and then developing a routine really, really helps. I have set a routine for myself, even though I have nowhere to be and nothing that I have to do. I've decided that I have to do certain things. So I start my day at a certain time and I do certain stuff then. I eat at a certain time, I exercise at a certain time. I have certain times that I make YouTube videos. I have certain times for gaming, things like that. And it's never going to be it's never going to be perfect, but that really, really helps. I've really fallen into this routine. That's why I kind of mentally, I'm preparing myself for next week when I go back to work and touch people for a living during a pandemic. Yeah, so, but my routine will change again, and that will be an adaptation. Hopefully for the better, because it is easier when you do have to work, in my opinion. All right, so next question. Number 5, how can your channel help someone who is off track? I do a lot of motivational type talks, and I do some exercise videos and some cooking videos. And ultimately, I just am a person on a weight loss journey. I'm not an expert. I am learning things. There are things that I'm sure I said when I first started this channel that I have learned more about, and my answer might be a little bit different nowadays. And I'm sure it'll change even more as I educate myself. I am taking a lot of time to study food and nutrition and exercise and all of that. And I do find that that is helpful. And with exercise, especially, like, I hate exercise, but I am doing it and I'm learning ways that I can do it. So that's been super helpful. And just talking and sharing. For me, connecting with other people, especially right now, is very important. I know she threw this, well, no, that one's later. So that is kind of what I offer. And ultimately, it's just me sharing my journey. It's like watching my 600-pound life, except I started at, 376, and I'm not doing it in a drastic, dramatic, fast-paced, unsustainable way. All right, so number 6, what does your channel offer those on a weight loss journey? Basically what I just said for number 5 is what my channel can offer, relating, connecting to other people. And that's why I do say, join the Facebook groups if you're on Facebook, watch all of the different YouTubers, like people that I tag and then people that they tag and all that, complete the circle and follow them, because there are a lot of times when I am, mentally wanting to fall off track, that, okay, throw on a video and watch that, or go in the Weight Watchers Connect on their app, or the community tab on the iTrackBites app, because I am using iTrackBites more now than Weight Watchers. I'm actually probably going to cancel Weight Watchers, because the iTrackBites just has more options for what I want. I like being able to. I'm not getting into all that right now. But yeah, so connecting to other people really, really helps. And as my channel, as I'm sharing my journey, as I share that I am not a perfect person, I feel like that really does help people. Okay, so number 7, what do you want to say to your subscribers who are not on track and not watching? Okay, this is the question that I know she threw in because across the board, big channels, small channels, I know views are down right now. It is very hard to want to care. It's very hard to focus on your weight loss when you're focusing on the fact that you can't go outside with without a mask. It's not safe. You're scared. I get that. But at the same time, when this is over, how much more work do you want to do to get back on track? And it doesn't matter how far you've gone off, it's never too late. But if you can prevent it now and stop it from getting worse, why not? That'll just make your life easier. I'm a big picture person, especially because I share that a lot, because the scale is not moving much. But especially with all the exercise and activity that I'm doing, my body is shrinking. I do measurements and I do other things, and I think of the bigger picture rather than the immediate results. And so with that, picturing, I could have very easily like, all right, cool, this is like a 2-month vacation. I'm going to do whatever the heck I want. I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to play video games all day. I'm going to eat whatever I want and get back on track when life's back to normal. One, we don't know when life will get back to normal. I'm going back to work next week, but that doesn't mean it's going to be normal because it's a completely different world. And I didn't want to have to fight and lose what I've already lost or try to get back in shape, because every time you do, it is possible, but it is hard. So ultimately, I care about you guys. I care about myself, and I think we should all do what we can to better our lives and better our health. All right, last question, number 8. Any advice you would offer someone who has gone so far off plan they don't feel like they can come back? 1, there's my dog. 2, it is never too late. I lost 140 pounds. If you watch my channel, I've said that 1,001 times. And then I gained it all back. I gained it all back plus like another 20 pounds. So I got to, or 17 pounds, whatever. I got to 376 pounds when I was at my goal body, what my goal was at the time. And here I am again doing it. It's never too late. I had gone off plan for years. And granted, the whole time I was doing this diet or that diet, but I wasn't succeeding, I wasn't sticking to it, and I wasn't actually mentally doing it. So it's never too late. I mean, when you first started, you thought it was impossible. So just getting off track, it's not gonna matter if you start now. It's just the longer you wait to get back on track, the harder it's gonna be. So if you can get back on track now, I definitely recommend it. All right, so that is all of the questions. These were really well thought, Dee. I appreciate it. So check out Denise. She's linked down below over at Dish with Dee. And again, I am tagging Tracy over at Trials of a Long-Haired Girl, Mary Fran over at No Excuses, and Active Rachel Ann. And her name's Rachel, obviously. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you later.